Anxiety is a natural stress response, but when it becomes chronic, it can overwhelm the mind and body, affecting everything from sleep and focus to physical health and emotional stability. To understand how meditation can help with anxiety, it's essential first to recognize what anxiety is. At its core, anxiety is the body's reaction to perceived threats, real or imagined. It's a fight or flight response that activates when we feel unsafe, unsure, or overwhelmed. While this response is crucial in genuine danger, modern life often triggers it unnecessarily. Deadlines, social pressure, health concerns, and even scrolling to the news can put the brain in a near constant state of alert. This state, over time, wears us down and leaves us feeling restless, irritable, or mentally exhausted. Anxiety doesn't just affect the mind, it's deeply rooted in the body. It can manifest as a racing heart, shallow breathing, muscle tension, and digestive issues. These physical symptoms, in turn, reinforce the anxious thoughts, creating a vicious cycle that feels hard to break. Meditation offers a powerful way to interrupt this cycle. It doesn't erase anxiety overnight, but it trains the mind to respond rather than react. Instead of being swept away by racing thoughts, meditation helps build awareness, giving us the ability to notice when anxiety is rising and return to the present moment with clarity and calm. When someone begins meditating, they're not trying to silence their thoughts or force calm. Instead, meditation creates space between stimulus and response. This space is where transformation begins. By focusing on something steady, like the breath, a mantra, or body sensations, the mind slowly learns to anchor itself. With regular practice, the brain starts to rewire. Neural pathways associated with stress and fear lose strength, while those linked to calm and resilience grow stronger. Scientific studies have shown that meditation activates areas of the brain related to emotional regulation and decreases activity in the amygdala, the part responsible for fear and threat perception. For people struggling with anxiety, this shift can be life-changing. Meditation doesn't deny what you're feeling. It validates it, yet teaches you not to be consumed by it. Over time, meditators often report feeling less reactive, more grounded, and better equipped to navigate the ups and downs of daily life. They notice the early signs of anxiety sooner and can use their breath and awareness to ease the intensity. What once felt like an automatic spiral of worry becomes something they can witness and manage. Ultimately, understanding anxiety is the first step in taking back control. Meditation is not a magic cure, but is a gentle, accessible, and deeply empowering practice that gives you the tools to reconnect with yourself. By learning to sit with your mind, even when it's uncomfortable, you begin to build inner strength that no external situation can shake. And in a world full of noise and pressure, that kind of inner calm becomes not just helpful, but essential. Meditation, at its core, is the practice of training your attention and awareness to achieve mental clarity and emotional calm. For beginners, it's important to understand that meditation doesn't mean emptying your mind or reaching some mystical state. Instead, it's about learning to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them. Think of it like watching clouds pass across the sky. You notice them, but you don't chase or judge them. Meditation helps you develop this kind of mental distance, which is especially helpful when you're dealing with anxiety. One of the biggest misconceptions is that you need to do it right for it to work. The truth is, there's no perfect way to meditate. If your mind wanders, which it will, that's not a failure. It's part of the process. Each time you gently bring your attention back to your breath, a sound, or a point of focus, you're strengthening your ability to stay present. This act of returning is the real training. It builds awareness, patience, and resilience, all of which are critical in managing anxiety. Meditation doesn't require any special equipment, background knowledge, or spiritual belief. You don't need to sit cross-legged for hours or chant unfamiliar words. You can meditate sitting in a chair, lying down, or even while walking slowly. The only thing you need is a willingness to show up and practice, even if just for a few minutes a day. Over time, those small moments of stillness begin to create noticeable shifts in how you handle stress, fear, and uncertainty. By simply being present with your experience without trying to fix or escape it, you begin to develop a sense of calm that is steady and grounded, even when life feels chaotic. When it comes to managing anxiety through meditation, one size does not fit all. There are several different types of meditation practices, and each offers unique benefits depending on what you're feeling and what you need. Understanding these different techniques can help you find the right fit and build a more effective and personalized practice. One of the most popular and beginner-friendly methods is mindfulness meditation. This involves focusing your attention on the present moment, often using the breath as an anchor. When your mind drifts, whether to a past regret or future worry, you gently guide it back to your breath without judgment. This practice builds awareness of your thoughts and emotions, helping you recognize anxious patterns without becoming overwhelmed by them. Another powerful technique is the body scan meditation. This involves mentally scanning your body from head to toe, observing any sensations, tension, or discomfort you notice along the way. For people with anxiety, the body often holds stress in physical form: tight shoulders, clenched jaws, or an upset stomach. A body scan helps reconnect the mind with the body, promoting relaxation and helping to release tension. It's especially useful at night if anxiety keeps you from falling asleep, as it gradually shifts your focus away from racing thoughts and into the experience of the present body. Loving kindness meditation, also known as metta, is another technique that can be incredibly healing for anxiety. This practice involves silently repeating phrases like, "May I be safe," "May I be well," "May I be at peace," and then extending those wishes to others, including friends, family, and even people you may have conflict with. When anxiety is tied to self-criticism, social pressure, or feelings of isolation, loving kindness meditation helps cultivate compassion and connection. Over time, it nurtures a kinder internal dialogue and reduces emotional reactivity, making you less likely to spiral into negative thinking patterns. Guided meditations are also an excellent starting point for beginners. These are audio or video recordings led by a teacher who walks you through a practice step by step. They can combine elements of mindfulness, visualization, breathwork, or affirmations, and are especially helpful if you're unsure where to begin or struggle to stay focused on your own. Hearing a calming voice guide you through a structured meditation can offer a sense of comfort and direction, making the experience more accessible and less intimidating. For those who find sitting still difficult, walking meditation or movement-based practices like yoga or Tai Chi can be incredibly grounding. Walking meditation involves slow, intentional steps while focusing on the movement of your feet, your breath, and your surroundings. It engages the body while calming the mind, which can be a perfect entry point for people whose anxiety is more physically agitating. The key is not in forcing yourself into a particular style, but in exploring different approaches until you find one that feels natural and supportive. Whether you're drawn to stillness, movement, breathwork, or compassion-focused practices, there's a form of meditation that can meet you exactly where you are and help guide you to a calmer, more centered version of yourself. Starting a meditation practice, especially when you're feeling anxious or restless, might seem intimidating at first, but it doesn't have to be complicated. The key is to start small and build a practice that feels manageable and supportive, not like another task on your to-do list. You don't need to sit for an hour in perfect silence to experience the benefits of meditation. Even a few minutes of focused breathing each day can begin to create a noticeable shift in how you feel. The first step is simply choosing a consistent time to practice. For many people, meditating first thing in the morning or just before bed works best. These times help you set the tone for the day or wind down at night, making it easier to stick with a habit. Creating a peaceful, distraction-free space can also help. This doesn't have to be a special room or elaborate setup. It could be a quiet corner of your bedroom, a cozy chair by the window, or even a spot on the floor with a cushion or folded blanket. What matters is that it feels calm and invites you to pause. If you live in a noisy environment, consider using noise-canceling headphones or playing soft ambient sounds or gentle nature music to help focus your attention. When you sit down to meditate, set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes, just enough to get started without feeling overwhelmed. Close your eyes or keep them softly focused on a fixed point and bring your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of the air as it enters and leaves your nose, or the gentle rise and fall of your chest or belly. Your mind will wander. That's normal. The goal isn't to eliminate thoughts, but to notice when you've drifted and gently bring your focus back to the breath. Every time you do that, you're strengthening your mental muscle of attention and presence. Some people find it helpful to use guided meditations in the beginning. These are readily available on meditation apps or online platforms and can help reduce the pressure trying to do it right. A guiding voice offers structure and reassurance, making it easier to stay engaged. Others might prefer silence or focusing on a simple mantra, a word or phrase repeated silently to help maintain concentration. You may also experiment with meditating in different postures. While sitting upright with a straight spine is commonly recommended, it's not the only option. You can lie down if you're more comfortable that way, or even try meditating while walking slowly in a quiet area, syncing your breath with your steps. The goal is to make the experience as approachable and natural as possible, especially in the beginning. The most important part of starting a meditation practice is showing up with curiosity and kindness. You don't need to wait until you feel calm to begin. The practice is there to help you find calm in the middle of the chaos. With time, consistency, and a gentle attitude toward yourself, meditation will begin to feel less like a task and more like a refuge, a place you can return to again and again to find stillness within. When you're just started with meditation, especially to manage anxiety, it's completely normal to run into challenges. The obstacles you face early on are often part of the process, and not a sign that you're doing anything wrong. One of the most common struggles beginners face is a restless or racing mind. You sit down, hoping to find peace, and suddenly you're thinking about everything from what to cook for dinner to past conversations or future worries. This is especially true for people with anxiety, where the mind has become conditioned to constantly anticipate, analyze, or brace for what might go wrong. Meditation doesn't require you to stop these thoughts. It simply asks you to notice them without getting pulled in, the act of recognizing distraction, and gently bringing your focus back to the present moment is where the growth happens. Another frequent challenge is physical discomfort. You might feel fidgety, tense, or notice aches in your back, legs, or neck. Many beginners think they have to sit perfectly still, but meditation isn't about forcing your body into an uncomfortable posture. It's okay to shift positions, use props like cushions or chairs, and find what feels sustainable for you. What matters more than posture is your intention to stay connected to the practice. If discomfort becomes overwhelming, try shorter sessions or even lying down during meditation. You can also bring awareness to the discomfort itself, observing the sensations with curiosity instead of resistance. Time and consistency are also hurdles for many beginners. Life is busy, and it can feel hard to carve out even 10 minutes for quiet reflection. But the truth is, meditation doesn't have to be long to be effective. Short, consistent sessions, even 2 or 3 minutes a day, can be incredibly powerful over time. Try linking your meditation to something you already do daily, like brushing your teeth or making coffee, to help build a habit naturally. The key is to make it part of your routine rather than something you only do when things get overwhelming. Another common difficulty is self-judgment. Many people feel frustrated when their minds wander or when they don't see immediate results. They think, I'm bad at this, or this isn't working. But meditation isn't about achieving a blank mind or instant peace. It's about building awareness. It's a skill that improves over time with gentle, non-judgmental effort. Instead of judging your sessions, try approaching them with curiosity. Ask yourself, what did I notice today? Or how did I respond to my thoughts? This kind of reflection helps deepen your practice and reinforces your progress, even if it's subtle. Lastly, it's important to remember that resistance is part of the journey. Some days you won't feel like meditating. Other days, it might feel pointless or even irritating. That's normal. The mind resists stillness because it's used to constant stimulation. But by gently returning to your practice, even imperfectly, you're retraining your brain to slow down, observe, and respond more thoughtfully. And that shift over time becomes a powerful way to manage anxiety with clarity and calm. The growing interest in meditation isn't just spiritual or philosophical. It's deeply rooted in science. Over the past few decades, researchers have studied the effects of meditation on the brain and body, and the findings are especially promising for people struggling with anxiety. One of the most significant discoveries is how meditation influences the brain's stress response system. When we're anxious, the amygdala, an almond-shaped part of the brain responsible for detecting threats, becomes overactive. This heightened activity triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, putting the body into a constant state of alert. Meditation, particularly mindfulness-based practices, has been shown to reduce activity in the amygdala and strengthen the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for reasoning, decision-making, and emotional regulation. This shift means that with regular meditation, people often become less reactive to stressors. Instead of immediately panicking or spiraling into worry, they begin to pause, observe, and respond with more balance. Studies using brain imaging have found that consistent meditators have increased gray matter density in areas linked to self-awareness and compassion, and decreased density in regions associated with anxiety and fear. These changes suggest that meditation doesn't just feel good in the moment. It reshapes the brain to be calmer and more resilient over time. Beyond the brain, meditation also has a measurable impact on the body. It can slow the heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and improve oxygen flow, all of which are disrupted by chronic anxiety. Breathing-focused meditations help activate the parasympathetic nervous system, also known as the rest and digest system, which counteracts the fight-or-flight state triggered by anxiety. This physiological shift helps the body return to a calm baseline more quickly after experiencing stress. Meditation also plays a role in improving sleep, which is often disrupted by anxiety. People who meditate regularly report falling asleep more easily, staying asleep longer, and waking up feeling more rested. Since poor sleep can intensify anxiety symptoms, breaking that cycle through meditation can have a powerful ripple effect on overall well-being. Another fascinating area of research is how meditation affects thought patterns. People with anxiety often engage in repetitive negative thinking, rumination, self-doubt, and catastrophic predictions. Meditation teaches the brain to observe these thoughts without automatically believing or reacting to them. Over time, this helps reduce the power and frequency of intrusive thoughts. Functional MRI scans have shown that mindfulness meditation decreases activity in the default mode network, a brain network associated with mind-wandering and self-referential thinking, both of which are heightened during anxious episodes. Even short-term meditation practice can produce noticeable benefits. Some studies show improvements in mood and anxiety levels after just a few weeks of daily practice. This makes meditation an accessible and effective tool for anyone, regardless of their background or experience level. It's not about eliminating stress entirely, but about changing your relationship with it. With consistent effort, meditation empowers you to navigate anxiety with more control, less fear, and greater mental clarity, all backed by the evolving science of the human mind. Building a daily meditation habit is one of the most effective ways to create lasting calm and reduce anxiety over time. While a single session may provide temporary relief, the real transformation happens when meditation becomes a regular part of your life. Like any meaningful change, consistency is more powerful than intensity. You don't need to meditate for long periods each day. What matters most is showing up daily, even if only for a few minutes. This daily commitment rewires the brain and gradually shifts how you respond to stress, anxiety, and everyday challenges. Just as physical exercise strengthens the body, regular meditation strengthens the mind's ability to stay grounded, focused, and calm. Establishing a habit starts with creating a routine that feels natural. Choose a time of day that works best for you and try to stick with it. Many people find that morning meditation sets a peaceful tone for the rest of the day, while evening sessions help them unwind and sleep better. The consistency of time and place helps signal to your brain that this is a moment to pause, breathe, and reconnect. Having a designated space, no matter how small, can also support your habit. It might be a quiet corner with a cushion, a cozy chair, or even a spot on your bed where you feel comfortable sitting quietly. To stay motivated, it helps to set small, realistic goals. Start with 5 minutes a day and increase as you feel ready. You can track your progress using a journal or an app that logs your sessions. Seeing your streak build over time can be encouraging and help you stay committed. Remember, it's okay if some days feel more focused than others. The habit isn't about perfect sessions. It's about creating space every day to return to yourself, to breathe, and to observe your mind without judgment. Life will inevitably bring interruptions, busy schedules, and emotional ups and downs. On some days, meditation might feel easy and peaceful. On others, it may feel like a struggle just to sit still. Both experiences are part of the journey. What matters is that you continue to show up with kindness toward yourself. Meditation teaches you to befriend discomfort, to stay present even when things feel uncertain or messy. This is especially valuable when anxiety flares up. Having a daily practice means you have a tool already in place, a familiar mental anchor you can return to when your thoughts feel overwhelming or your emotions start to spiral. Over time, this daily habit doesn't just change how you feel during meditation. It begins to influence how you live. You start noticing when you're holding tension in your body or when your thoughts are running ahead. You learn to pause before reacting, to respond with intention instead of instinct. That's the real gift of a meditation practice. It becomes a way of being, not just something you do. With consistency, meditation shifts from a calming technique into a powerful foundation for emotional resilience, giving you the strength to face life's uncertainties with steady, grounded presence. Meditation for anxiety is not a quick fix, but is a powerful, lasting solution that helps you build inner stability in a world that often feels unpredictable and overwhelming. By understanding how anxiety affects the mind and body, exploring different meditation techniques, and approaching the practice with patience and consistency, you can begin to transform your relationship with stress. Each session, no matter how short or imperfect, is a step toward greater self-awareness, emotional resilience, and mental clarity. Meditation empowers you to pause, breathe, and choose how you respond to life, rather than being controlled by anxious thoughts or emotions. With time, what once felt like chaos becomes manageable, and calm becomes something you can access, not because your circumstances change, but because you do. Meditation isn't about escaping reality. It's about meeting it with a grounded, open, and steady mind. And that shift has the potential to change everything.